Bow, 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 from my head down to my toe. I love my little bow. Bow, 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 bow. Everywhere I go, you know I love my bow.
Welcome to Joyful DIYs. Hi, I'm Joyful Day. Each week, I upload a new DIY based on your votes in the comment section below. I like making DIYs that are really easy for everyone and also super nice for every shape and size of a person. So you can go ahead and try this even if you're a beginner and make sure that you use your measurements for a super comfortable fit for you. It's so much more fun to do DIYs together. So I like to interact with you guys in the comments section, as well as if you message me on my Instagram account, then we can do things like collaborate and send pictures of ideas of what you've made and ideas of what you would like to see made in the future. Because of all of this coronavirus going around, we can still do collaborations. We'll just do them over our video connection. We can do a Zoom call or something. It'll still be so much fun. Last week, a lot of things seemed to go wrong, like with my video and editing, but the outfit turned out great. This is the neck piece that was the neck floof and bow. And this is the top that I made, and I did add ruffle to the collar. I know that that piece did get cut off of my film, but all I did was take that same little piece of extra ruffle and sew it along the opposite side and scrunch it up as I sewed along. That way it would fold over nicely and still have a nice neck floof there. And then I sewed on the ruffle at the bottom of the shirt, so that turned out really nice. It actually doesn't look too bad. And then with this extra little floof I put onto the wrist as well. So this is going to be a really fun top, and like I said, it could be worn for him or for her, and I will show you an outfit that I could actually wear with this shirt that would be super fun and cute. We're going to start on the vest today, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out all the material that I need for the shorts as well. Materials! So the fabric for this week is this Pokemon twin sheet that I found at Value Village, and this vest that I also found at Value Village for $7.49. Decent price, I guess. With this Pokemon sheet, I couldn't even believe that I could find such fun Pokemon fabric for only $2.99. And so I was super excited about that. And I have some of this leftover material that a friend gave me for Christmas, and I have been wanting to use this for a vest and shorts outfit for my darling for a long time. And so if I have enough, I'm going to measure out how much it's going to be needing for this, and then if I have enough, I will be making a second outfit identical to that, but different material, of course. I'm also going to be using a pair of shorts that fit him really well. I'm just going to be using them for the shape and for the pattern, basically, of what I want. And then I'm going to make them a little extra big, so probably an extra 2 inches on the pattern piece, and make them a little bigger so that they can be really puffy in the pant leg, because I want these to be puff shorts. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. Also, something really fun happened this week. I got this yard furniture from a neighbor who was moving, and so I went ahead and took a picture of that for you guys to see. And I'm going to DIY that yard furniture. I'm going to paint it, I'm going to do some fun things, and I'm going to turn it into a carousel table. Not that it's going to move around, it's just going to resemble a carousel. It'll be really cute. So if you guys would like to see that DIY, let me know about that in the comments section below. So now I cut off the edge here, and I cut it in half too. So I have two pieces, one side for each leg. And what I'm doing here is folding each in half like it would be if it was a leg. Turn it inside out, put nice sides facing each other, and one side should be on one side, the other side like this. So now both sides are nice sides facing each other, and this is going to be the front and this is going to be the back. And how I'm doing that is laying this edge here. This is the back, so I'm taking this spot here and lining this up. So you see that there's kind of like a little J section right here that I'm going to be cutting out. Well, it's different on each side, so you have to do the back side like this and the front side like this one, and it'll be different shape. So I'm trying to line this up with the edge of where I want the pants to actually line up, and I'm just going to cut this piece out. I'll switch this to the front sides like I was saying before. Put these sides here. And then line up this part. And it makes a J, but it doesn't make quite as deep of a J section here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece as well, making sure that the top and bottom sides are lined up together. So that's how I used this for a pattern. And now I can use this as a shorts pattern for that next Pokemon material that I said I wanted to make as well. So the only thing that I'm doing differently for this one is that it's a little bit shorter in length. So I didn't have enough length here to make it quite as long as this other one. So what I did is I put the elastic loop just above the top, because I can create an elastic sleeve with the extra material, and then that will give me a little extra height here. And then also I'm going to be creating not an elastic sleeve, but I'm going to be creating a little extra piece of material on the bottom to cinch up the poof of the pants, and that will give me a little bit of extra length on the bottom of this one as well. So I think it'll be just fine. So I'm just going to cut right where I have it set. And then this gives me the front side, the front seam, or the front area of that section. And now I'm going to do the back. This material would have been long enough if I was doing the Pokemons on the side, but I wanted the Pokemons to be facing the right way for my little Pikachus, so I'm just cutting it this way. So now I have the fronts and backs for both. So these shorts, I will be finishing in, most likely I'll be finishing these shorts in next week's video. So now onto the vest. If you have a print like I'm using, make sure that your print is facing the right direction so that it will be the direction that you want it to be and not upside down in your completed form. And I'm just going to fold this piece of material in half actually, so that I can just do it one half at a time. Make sure that I do this evenly. So then you fold it in half. Like I said, make sure that your fabric is facing the right direction. And this is going to be the very center of my back piece. And I'll just line up that back seam line right here, giving myself a little bit of a seam allowance at the top there. Scoot it up. Make sure that I get right to the point. Now that I have that set how I want, I'm just going to cut. And I like that little tails piece, so I cut that piece out. Now I'm just twisting it around to cut the edge top piece. So you want to make sure that everything is as lined up as you can get. That way that you can get a pretty good duplicate for the pattern that you're using. So now I've cut out the back section. And it's so cute with the little tail section. I love it. It's going to be adorable. Now I'm going to do the two front pieces. So now I'm just going to cut out a basic square of the front piece so that I can put them on top of each other and make two identical pieces. So basically I just want this section so I can have 2 of these. Starting from this seam. So now that I have this square, I'm going to make 2 of these squares. So I can have 2 front panels. However, they have to be the opposite. This one has to be going one way, the other one has to go the other way. So put the 2 good sides together, and then you'll have 2 opposite pieces when you're done. And then once I have that, I can go ahead and cut out this square, and it'll just make it easier for me to cut out the right pattern when I just have a smaller piece of material that I'm working with. So now that I have both of these cut out, I'm just going to lay them on top of each other with the good sides facing each other. Flatten it out as much as possible. And then lay my front chest pattern vest back down. You're also going to want to follow these slopes as good as you can. But make sure to give seam allowance, of course. And then right at this section, you got to give that a little slope too. And now you have 2 front vest pieces, opposite sides, with your prints facing the right direction. I did find out that I don't have enough to make a back piece and then 2 vest pieces with this, so I'm going to just use either white, black, or another maybe yellow or red for the back panel that I will make out of this piece, and just do both front pieces out of these other two panels that I just made. So I will go ahead and make this one a Pikachu vest as well. And just do the two front panels. So now I cut a lining piece out for each piece of the vest, and I'm going to sew around the outside edge with a straight stitch, except for the shoulder pieces on all of those pieces, so that I can use that part to turn it inside out and have the right sides facing the outside. But for right now, I am having the insides facing the nice sides are both facing towards the inside, and I did that so that we can sew this edge and have the nice seam on the outside. Now that it's all stitched into place, I can reach in the top section and pull it inside out, and on the corners where it's really rounded, you can snip those curved edges. I didn't do that. I didn't think it was necessary because I don't think it'll even show. But now that it's inside out, I just want to make sure the corners are set. And then this is where you might want to go ahead and do a top stitch all the way along the edge, all the way around, once you get this turned inside out the right way, or outside in. No, it's out. The right side is out now. So now we've got this section for the vest. I'm going to do that to all the other pieces, and I'll show you what I've got. So don't forget to back stitch and make sure that all of the nice sides are facing each other while you're sewing these, and leave the gap opening at the top where the shoulders connect. Now I have all of my pieces sewn to each other, but I need to sew them together. So this is the back panel where the seam is still open at the shoulders, like I was mentioning before. And here's one of the side panels, and here's the other side panel. So what I'm doing now is making it to where all of the nice pieces are facing each other, and I'm going to sew down the shoulder pieces together and sew down these two side pieces together. So I'll sew up here at this top, and I'll sew at the side seam right here, and I'll just do a straight stitch, and I'll show you what I mean. So if you happen to notice that one of your sides is a tad bit bigger than the other, that's okay. What I do is I just pinch in one seam right where the seam is, and pinch it in a little bit until where it makes it the same size. Yes, it'll be a little bit bigger right there in the fabric, but that's okay, just as long as it's the same size. And then what we're gonna do is sew right along this line right here, and then when we're done, I'll fold this over twice and sew again so that I can have a nice finish like this one. So here's the seam, and then I folded it over and sewed again on the back side so that the back has that extra seam and it's not noticeable in the front. So I've decided kind of late in the game to add a pocket, and to measure out your pocket, you're going to want to choose whatever stuff that you're going to want to fit in that pocket and make it that size. I wanted a huge pocket so that way I could put like a charger and a cell phone in it. And so I'm going to put this in the vest. And how I've decided to do that, because I did decide this late in the game, is I do still have a hole in the top of this one. So I'm going to use this one to do the pockets. And I've already cut a slit that's exactly or just about the same size. I did it a little bit bigger on the first one that I just made, and realized that I needed it to be really close to the same size for those pockets, or else you get this like bunched up effect on the sides here a little bit. But so what I did was I cut the pocket, then I placed the pocket inside of the pocket, I left a little bit of the pocket, of the inner lining of the pocket out, and then I reach from the top and turn it inside out with the lining of the jacket on the outside now. Now I can see where the pocket is and sew it with this piece is out so that that sewn edge won't be seen. So in order to do that, I just flip this with the right sides facing out, so the edges are all on the inside of the pocket. And then I stick this inside of the vest pocket hole where I'm going to be attaching it to. Line up the seams with the very edges. Here's the seam, and here's the corner edge of each pocket. And I'll start at one corner and just work my way around it with the sewing machine, and then flip the whole thing back right sides out, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done with this section. So I'm just going to be attaching the sides from here to here and the top two pieces together at the shoulder. So now I've made this vest and this vest and this vest with the pockets. So I'm done for this week, and be sure to watch next week when I make the shorts for it. In a world full of expenses, my DIYs are always free, so come back next week. Thanks for watching, and have a joyful day.
Bow, 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 from my head down to my toe. I love my little bow. Bow, 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 everywhere I go. You know I love my bow.